4 vegetables you must eat, and 4 you should never touch if you are over 60. We've always been told, eat your veggies. Every single one is good for you. But after 60, that advice could quietly be putting your health at risk. New research is uncovering a shocking truth. Some vegetables are not just unhelpful, they may actually harm your heart, joints, and blood sugar. And the worst part? They're probably already in your pantry or on your dinner plate. You see, your body isn't the same at 65 as it was at 35. Digestion slows, inflammation increases, and your tolerance to certain foods shifts dramatically. Some veggies trigger blood sugar spikes, inflame your joints, and accelerate aging without a single warning sign. But here's the good news. Other vegetables can do the exact opposite. They fight inflammation, sharpen memory, improve circulation, and some studies even suggest they can add up to 12 years to your life. In this video, we'll reveal the 4 vegetables you must eat and 4 you should absolutely avoid, ranked by how dangerous or life-giving they really are. Because at this age, every bite either builds you up or breaks you down. Let's uncover the truth together. 4 types of vegetables that will help you live after age 60. 1. Purple cabbage. First up on our list of must-eat vegetables is the vibrant purple cabbage. It might just look like a regular, colorful veggie, but what it does inside your body, especially if you're over 60, is anything but ordinary. Think of it as one of the most underrated protectors against something we all deal with as we age: inflammation. That beautiful, deep purple color isn't just for show. It comes from powerful compounds called anthocyanins. These are natural antioxidants that act like tiny warriors in your bloodstream, soaking up free radicals. What are free radicals? They're unstable molecules that can damage your cells and speed up the aging process. When it comes to inflammation, anthocyanins are particularly effective. In fact, a 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who regularly ate more anthocyanin-rich vegetables like purple cabbage had a 24% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who didn't. That's a significant boost for your ticker. But it's not just your heart that benefits. Purple cabbage is also fantastic for your gut health. It's packed with fiber and natural prebiotics, which are essential for feeding the good bacteria in your intestines. This is a huge deal after 60, because a healthy gut directly impacts your immune system. A healthier gut means fewer infections, less bloating, and better nutrient absorption from all the food you eat. Your body becomes more efficient, and at this stage in life, that makes a major difference in how you feel day to day. To get the most out of purple cabbage, it's best eaten raw or lightly cooked. Overcooking can break down those precious anthocyanins. Try shredding it into your salads or mixing it into a coleslaw with a little olive oil and apple cider vinegar. That combo not only tastes great, but also helps your body absorb its nutrients better. For a cooked option, a quick stir-fry for just a few minutes helps preserve its power. Consider adding some garlic or turmeric for even more anti-inflammatory effects. Purple cabbage is inexpensive, easy to find in any grocery store, and keeps well in the fridge for weeks. For something so simple, it truly delivers a huge return, especially if you're struggling with joint pain, blood pressure issues, or poor digestion. It may not seem flashy, but believe me, it works where it matters most, inside your body. 2. Okra. Next on our list of life-saving vegetables for seniors is okra. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Okra? Isn't that the slimy green thing? And yes, when cooked, it can have a unique texture. But if you're over 60, this unassuming green pod might be exactly what your body desperately needs, especially when it comes to a silent threat that affects so many of us: blood sugar control. What makes okra so incredibly valuable for seniors is its remarkable effect on your blood sugar levels. Inside okra are soluble fibers called mucilage. This gel-like substance acts like a gentle sponge, helping to slow down how quickly sugar is absorbed in your gut. Why is this so important? Because as we age, our bodies naturally become more resistant to insulin. Insulin is the hormone that helps your cells pull sugar out of your bloodstream. When this system starts failing, sugar builds up in your blood, silently damaging your blood vessels and significantly increasing your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even kidney failure. But okra can change that narrative. A 2021 study published in the journal Food Science and Nutrition found that people who ate okra daily for just 8 weeks saw their fasting blood sugar drop by over 20%. That's the kind of improvement you'd typically expect from prescription medications, but without the side effects. Beyond blood sugar, okra also contains powerful antioxidants like quercetin and flavonoids, which work to reduce oxidative stress on your brain. This is particularly helpful for those of you who might be struggling with occasional brain fog, poor memory, or early cognitive decline. Plus, okra is rich in vitamin K, which is crucial for healthy blood clotting and strong bones, a direct benefit for seniors who are prone to falls or fractures. You'll also find a good amount of folate in okra, which supports red blood cell formation and overall energy levels, a key factor in aging well. To get the most out of okra, it's best cooked quickly, with minimal oil. Lightly steaming it, or tossing it into soups and stews helps reduce that characteristic slimy texture, while keeping all its beneficial nutrients intact. If you want to cut down on the stickiness even more, try soaking it in vinegar for about 30 minutes before cooking. Roasted okra is another fantastic option. Just slice it, toss with a little olive oil and a pinch of salt, and roast at a high temperature until it's crisp. You'll get all the fiber, antioxidants, and those incredible blood sugar benefits in one delicious package. Okra might not be your favorite vegetable at first bite, but once you understand how powerfully it supports stable blood sugar, heart health, and mental clarity, it's truly worth finding a way to enjoy it regularly. This is a vegetable that works quietly over time to keep your aging body balanced, steady, and strong. 3. Beetroot. Beets might look like nothing more than a colorful root vegetable, but beneath that deep red skin lies one of nature's most powerful tools for keeping your heart and brain alive and thriving. As we age, one of the most silent and dangerous changes in the body is poor circulation. Blood vessels become stiff, blood flow slows down, and the heart has to work harder to pump blood through narrowed arteries. That's why high blood pressure, fatigue, and brain fog are so common after 60. But beetroot fights back. It's naturally high in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that helps relax and widen your blood vessels. That means better blood flow, lower pressure, and less strain on your heart. A 2019 clinical study found that just 4 weeks of drinking beetroot juice led to an average drop of 11 points in systolic blood pressure in older adults. That's no small number. And for your brain, improved circulation means more oxygen, sharper focus, and stronger memory. One study published in the Journals of Gerontology showed that seniors who consumed beetroot before exercise had increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain that handles memory and decision-making. If you're experiencing mental fatigue, slower thinking, or forgetfulness, this vegetable could offer real support. But that's not all. Beets are rich in compounds called betalains, known for their strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. They work at the cellular level to reduce chronic inflammation, a root cause behind arthritis, joint pain, and even cardiovascular disease. Beets also provide folate and manganese, two nutrients vital for energy production and red blood cell health, especially important as natural energy levels decline with age. The best part? Beets are easy to enjoy. You can roast them to bring out their natural sweetness, toss them into salads, or blend them into a smoothie with apple and ginger for a refreshing, nutrient-packed drink. If you're short on time, pre-cooked beets sold in vacuum packs are a great option. Just slice and eat. If you choose beet juice, make sure it's 100% pure with no added sugars. So many seniors rely on pills for blood pressure, memory, and energy, without realizing that a single root vegetable could help with all three. Beetroot doesn't work overnight, but day by day, it supports your circulation, strengthens your heart, and keeps your brain alert. It's not magic, it's biology. And it's one of the simplest, most natural ways to age with strength, clarity, and vitality. 4. Kale. Kale has earned its superfood label, and for good reason. But what many people don't realize is how especially powerful it is for those over 60. This dark leafy green doesn't just help one part of the body, it protects 3 of your most vital systems at once: your brain, your heart, and your bones. Let's start with memory. Kale is rich in two plant compounds called lutein and zeaxanthin, natural pigments that collect in the eyes and brain. In older adults, these nutrients are linked to slower cognitive decline. A 2020 study published in Neurology found that seniors with high levels of lutein and zeaxanthin had a 32% slower rate of cognitive decline compared to those with low levels. That's not just about remembering where you put your keys. It's about staying mentally sharp, independent, and engaged in life. Now let's talk heart health. Kale is loaded with potassium, which helps balance sodium in your body and lowers blood pressure. It also contains magnesium, a mineral many seniors are deficient in, which supports normal heart rhythm and muscle function. But perhaps the most impressive heart benefit comes from vitamin K. Just 1 cup of kale contains over 600% of your daily vitamin K needs. This vitamin plays a crucial role in preventing calcium from building up in your arteries, a problem that leads to hardening of the arteries and heart disease. But the benefits don't stop there. Vitamin K also plays a huge role in bone health, especially important after 60, when bone density starts to drop. Combined with the natural calcium and magnesium in kale, this makes it a powerful ally against fractures and osteoporosis. Now, a quick word about how to eat it. While kale is great for you, eating it raw in large amounts may not be ideal for everyone, especially if you have thyroid issues. Raw kale contains goitrogens, which can interfere with thyroid function. The good news? A little light cooking takes care of that. Try sautéing it in olive oil with garlic for 3 to 5 minutes, or steaming it gently to soften the texture while preserving the nutrients. You can also add it to soups or make kale chips in the oven with just a sprinkle of salt and a touch of oil. Kale isn't just a trend, it's a time-tested food that works on multiple fronts. It guards your brain, strengthens your bones, and supports your heart with every bite. For less than $1 per serving, it offers protection that even the best supplements struggle to match. If there's one green to put on your plate each week, make it kale. Your body will thank you. 4 types of vegetables that the more you eat, the more harmful them are to old age. Corn. Corn is a classic comfort food. Whether it's grilled at a summer cookout, mixed into chowder, or served warm with butter, it brings back memories of home. But after 60, this innocent-looking vegetable may no longer be your friend. In fact, corn can quietly become one of the biggest threats to your blood sugar, and most seniors don't even realize it. The problem is corn's glycemic index, a measure of how fast a food raises your blood sugar. Corn scores high, meaning it causes sugar levels to spike rapidly. This spike triggers a surge of insulin, your body's blood sugar regulator. Over time, repeated surges wear out your insulin response, which leads to insulin resistance, a key factor in type 2 diabetes. And this isn't just theory. A 2020 study published in Diabetes Care found that older adults who regularly consumed high glycemic vegetables like corn had a 46% higher risk of developing insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. But corn's effect doesn't stop at sugar. The roller coaster of quick spikes followed by energy crashes also takes a toll on your mood, fatigue levels, and even your heart. For seniors who already experience energy dips or fluctuating blood pressure, corn can quietly fuel the very symptoms you're trying to avoid. It gets worse when corn is processed. Think of creamed corn, canned sweet corn, or any product labeled sweet corn. These varieties are bred for higher sugar content and often have added salt and preservatives. What starts as a vegetable becomes more like a dessert in disguise. Now, does this mean you have to eliminate corn forever? Not necessarily, but it absolutely means moderation is critical. Corn should be a treat, not a staple. And how you prepare it matters. Avoid canned varieties with added sugars and sodium. Skip the buttery corn casseroles. Instead, if you do eat corn, go for small portions of fresh, organic corn, grilled or boiled, without heavy toppings. For a safer daily option, swap corn out for low glycemic vegetables like zucchini, cauliflower, or leafy greens. These choices help regulate blood sugar instead of disrupting it, and they come with additional fiber and anti-inflammatory benefits. The truth is, corn isn't poison, but it is a silent saboteur for older adults who are managing prediabetes, weight gain, or cardiovascular issues. And because it's so common, it's easy to eat too much without realizing the long-term consequences. After 60, every bite matters. And with corn, you need to ask yourself, is it fueling your strength or feeding your decline? 2. Potatoes. Potatoes are a staple on most dinner tables in America. Mashed, baked, fried, or roasted, they're hearty, comforting, and affordable. But after age 60, what seems like a harmless comfort food could quietly be pushing your blood pressure higher and draining your energy faster than you realize. Here's the issue. Potatoes are a high glycemic starch, meaning they break down into sugar rapidly once digested. That sugar hits your bloodstream fast, triggering a surge in insulin, and over time increasing your risk for insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. But even beyond blood sugar, the real danger lies in how frequent potato consumption affects blood pressure. A large study published in the BMJ followed over 70,000 adults and found that those who ate potatoes 4 or more times per week had a 33% higher risk of developing high blood pressure. That's not because potatoes are inherently toxic. It's because of how your body processes their starch load, especially when you're older and your metabolism has naturally slowed down. And let's be honest, potatoes are rarely eaten plain. They're often deep-fried, drowned in butter, or topped with salt, sour cream, and cheese. That turns a simple starch into a sodium-heavy, fat-laden dish that puts even more strain on aging arteries and kidneys. Fried potatoes, in particular, introduce compounds like acrylamides, formed during high-temperature cooking, that have been linked to arterial inflammation and oxidative stress. Even boiled potatoes, if eaten in large amounts, can lead to glucose spikes and energy crashes. Many seniors find themselves feeling sluggish after a potato-heavy meal without realizing it's tied to the fast carb breakdown. Now, this doesn't mean you can never touch a potato again, but moderation and smart substitutions are key. Instead of making potatoes your daily side dish, try sweet potatoes. They have a lower glycemic index, more fiber, and are rich in beta-carotene and antioxidants. Roasting them with olive oil and cinnamon gives you flavor, texture, and heart-friendly nutrition without the same blood pressure risk. If you do choose white potatoes, leave the skin on for added fiber and avoid frying. Baked or boiled in small portions with herbs and olive oil is a much safer approach. Remember, after 60, your plate isn't just feeding your hunger, it's shaping your future. And while potatoes may feel familiar, they could be quietly contributing to fatigue, blood pressure spikes, and metabolic stress. Every bite is a decision, and sometimes the foods that feel the most normal are the ones we need to rethink the most. 3. Eggplant. Eggplant might look like a harmless vegetable with its deep purple shine and soft texture when cooked, but if you're over 60, it could be doing more harm than good, especially to your joints and kidneys. It's often praised for being low in calories and high in antioxidants, but the truth is, eggplant hides compounds that can trigger inflammation and strain vulnerable organs, and most people never realize it. The biggest concern is a group of natural chemicals called alkaloids, specifically solanine and nasonin. These compounds are part of the plant's natural defense system, but in sensitive individuals, they can disrupt nerve signaling, increase oxidative stress, and exacerbate joint inflammation. For seniors dealing with arthritis, chronic joint pain, or muscle stiffness, eggplant could quietly be making symptoms worse, not better. And that's not the only risk. Eggplant also contains oxalates, which may contribute to kidney stone formation. After 60, kidney function tends to decline naturally. When oxalates build up in the body, especially if hydration is poor or you're already prone to kidney issues, it can lead to calcium oxalate stones, which are painful and potentially dangerous. A 2019 study from Neurology Annals found that high oxalate vegetable intake significantly increased kidney stone risk in older adults with compromised kidney function. What makes matters worse is how eggplant is typically cooked. It absorbs oil like a sponge. Frying it or grilling it in heavy oils introduces more inflammatory fats into your system, which amplifies the stress on your joints, heart, and digestive system. The combination of high heat cooking, oil absorption, and alkaloids creates a perfect storm for inflammation. Now, does this mean you need to swear off eggplant for life? Not necessarily. But if you suffer from joint pain, kidney issues, or inflammatory conditions, this is a vegetable you should approach with caution. If you still want to enjoy it occasionally, there are ways to make it safer. Try peeling the skin, which contains higher levels of nasunian, and pre-soak the slices in salted water for 30 minutes. This reduces bitterness and helps draw out some of the problematic compounds. Always cook eggplant thoroughly and avoid deep frying it. At this stage of life, your body is less forgiving of foods that cause hidden damage. And while eggplant looks healthy on the surface, it may be silently fueling the very conditions you're trying to fight. When in doubt, choose vegetables that nourish without risk, because your joints, kidneys, and long-term health deserve better than guesswork. 4. Canned tomatoes. Tomatoes are often praised as a health food, and they can be when they're fresh. But once they're packed into a can and left sitting on a shelf, they can turn from helpful to harmful, especially if you're over 60. Canned tomatoes may seem convenient, but they often carry a hidden cocktail of chemical risks that could quietly disrupt your hormones, raise your blood pressure, and even harm your heart. And most people have no idea. The issue starts with the cans themselves. Most are lined with a chemical called BPA, short for bisphenol A. BPA is used to prevent the metal from rusting, but it's also a known endocrine disruptor. That means it interferes with your natural hormone balance, particularly estrogen and testosterone. As you age, your hormone levels already begin to decline, making you more vulnerable to fatigue, weight gain, mood swings, and even heart rhythm issues. The acidic nature of tomatoes makes it even worse. It breaks down the BPA lining, causing it to leach directly into the food you're eating. One 2020 study published in Environmental Research found that adults with the highest BPA levels in their blood had a 91% increased risk of heart disease. That's a massive number, and it's coming from a source many seniors use daily without a second thought. But BPA isn't the only concern. Canned tomatoes are also often loaded with sodium. A single cup of canned tomato sauce can contain over 500 milligrams of sodium, nearly a quarter of the recommended daily limit for older adults. High sodium intake is one of the top contributors to high blood pressure, stiff arteries, and kidney stress. For seniors on heart or blood pressure medications, this silent overload of salt can completely undo the benefits of treatment. So what's the solution? It's actually simple. Choose fresh or jarred tomatoes instead. If you love sauces or soups, consider making your own using fresh tomatoes. If you must use canned products, look for BPA-free labels and always rinse the contents thoroughly to remove excess sodium. Canned tomatoes might seem like a harmless shortcut in the kitchen, but they can carry real risks for your hormones, your heart, and your long-term health. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive to what you eat, and small, daily exposures to chemicals and excess salt can add up fast. Choose wisely, because the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live stronger. Conclusion. Every meal is a choice to grow stronger or weaker. After 60, your body becomes more sensitive, more responsive, and more honest. It reacts faster to what you feed it, both for better and for worse. That's why every single meal is no longer just about taste or habit. It's a decision to heal or to harm, to protect your brain, your heart, your energy, or to unknowingly wear them down. We've uncovered 4 vegetables that can truly support your health and vitality, and we've revealed 4 that, despite their innocent appearance, may be quietly working against you. Not all vegetables are created equal. Some build strength, others break it down. But now, you know the difference. You hold the power to choose. Don't let outdated food advice or convenience steer your plate. Let knowledge do that. Let intention guide it. Because aging well isn't about avoiding disease. It's about feeding the body in a way that keeps it resilient, clear-minded, and full of life. So next time you open your fridge or sit down to a meal, ask yourself, is this helping me grow stronger, or is it silently setting me back? The answer could change the next 10 years of your life.